There was an eerie sense that something extraordinary was happening at the frontier today. The usual Sunday hustle and bustle was replaced by a quiet sense of purpose and some confusion. There's been considerable uncertainty and some tension here at the frontier today after those emergency measures introduced by Pedro Sánchez to prevent the spread of Covid-19 have already kicked in. Every single person crossing the frontier, either from Gibraltar into Spain or Spain into Gibraltar today, are being questioned. Can you provide proof of residency? Can you provide a work contract? If the answer has been no, then they have been prevented from crossing the frontier. In fact, just a few moments ago, I witnessed a Gibraltarian car having to turn back into Gibraltar. I heard the guard say to him, "You either go or you stay," suggesting that if he did choose to go to Spain, he would not be allowed back into Gibraltar.
Okay, so basically we're currently told that if we want to go and get our luggage from the hotel in Spain, we can't cross the border to collect it. We've got to stay here, wait for somebody to bring our luggage that we don't know, and basically do the transfer stuck between the borders.
Like in no man's land.
So we're in a situation where we don't know whether we can go back or forward, but we haven't got our luggage. And we've got
and
no
if we leave,
we're
stuck in Spain.
And if we go to Spain, we're stuck. If we
can't
stay in
come back.
Gibraltar, we've got no belongings.
The disruption at the frontier is unlike anything we've ever seen before. The Spanish are taking Covid-19 very seriously. Some 47 million Spaniards have been ordered to stay at home in an attempt to contain an outbreak which has seen an alarming rise in cases over the past few days. The emergency order means Spaniards will only be allowed to leave their homes to buy food, get medicines, see a doctor or go to work. So what happens tomorrow morning when cross-frontier workers turn up and try to get into Gibraltar to work? Well, if you're Gibraltarian and have valid ID, then you won't have a problem. If you're not Gibraltarian, then you will need to present either a work contract or proof of residency on the rock. Now, there appears to be some uncertainty as to who will then be allowed to leave Gibraltar and head back into Spain afterwards. Now, I spoke to the Guardia Civil officer and he told me that if people have valid properties here in Gibraltar and one in Spain, then they won't be allowed to head back into Spain. They will have to stay here in Gibraltar. But I did hear one of the other guards tell a Gibraltarian resident that he could choose to either stay in Gibraltar or go to Spain if he had residences in both countries. So there does seem to be a big question about that, and the Guardia Civil officer did admit to me that there was still some uncertainty and that he was seeking further clarification on that point. But some people were caught on the hop today. One gentleman I spoke to said his partner, a non-Gibraltarian, went to work in Spain this morning as usual, but found he wasn't allowed back onto the rock in the afternoon without his proof of residence. Another Gibraltar resident appeared distressed. He said he was allowed back in, but his parents who were visiting weren't. Tourism has always been a vital part of Gibraltar's economy, and this thoroughfare here is usually quite busy. But Covid-19 has put a stop to that, at least temporarily. All tourists are being turned back into Spain, and they are only being allowed through the frontier if they can provide proof that they are staying on the rock or that they are leaving from Gibraltar Airport. The Gibraltar frontier has seen its fair share of drama over the decades, but this is different. This is not political. This is a pandemic, a public health emergency. We're heading into uncharted territory, and right now there are more questions than answers.